From translation, RSV Revised Standard Version. This 77th day of the year. Today we are reading passages, Judges 1 to 2. Judges chapter 1, verses 1 to 36. After the death of Joshua, the people of Israel inquired of the Lord, saying, Who shall go up for us first against the Canaanites to fight against them? The Lord said, Judah shall go up. Behold, I have given the land into his hand. And Judah said to Simeon his brother, Come up with me into my allotment, that we may fight against the Canaanites. And I will go up with you into your allotment. So Simeon went with him. And Judah went up, and the Lord gave the Canaanites and the Perizzites into their hand, and they defeated 10,000 men at Bezek. And they found Adoni-Bezek at Bezek, and fought against him, and defeated the Canaanites and the Perizzites. Adoni-Bezek fled, but they pursued him and caught him, and cut off his thumbs and his great toes. And Adoni-Bezek said, 70 kings with their thumbs and their great toes cut off used to pick up crumbs under my table. As I have done, so God has requited me. And they brought him to Jerusalem, and he died there. And the men of Judah fought against Jerusalem, and took it, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and set the city on fire. And afterward the men of Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites who dwelt in the hill country, and in the Negeb, and in the lowland. And Judah went against the Canaanites who dwelt in Hebron. Now the name of Hebron was formerly Kiriath-Arba, and they defeated Sheshai and Ahiman and Talmai. From there he went against the inhabitants of Debir. Now the name of Debir was formerly Kiriath-Sepher. And Caleb said, He who attacks Kiriath-Sepher and takes it, I will give him Achsah my daughter as wife. And Othniel the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, took it, and he gave him Achsah his daughter as wife. When she came to him, she urged him to ask her father for a field, and she alighted from off her ass, and Caleb said to her, What do you wish? She said to him, Give me a blessing. Since the land you have given me is in the Negeb, give me also springs of water. And Caleb gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. And the descendants of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up with the people of Judah into the wilderness of Judah, which lies in the Negeb near Arad. And they went and dwelt with the people. And Judah went with Simeon his brother, and they defeated the Canaanites who inhabited Zephath, and utterly destroyed it. So the name of the city was called Hormah. Judah took Gaza with its territory, and Ashkelon with its territory, and Ekron with its territory. But the people of Judah could not drive out the inhabitants of the plain, because they had chariots of iron. And they gave Hebron to Caleb, as Moses had said, and he drove out from it the 3 sons of Anak. But the people of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites who inhabited Jerusalem. So the Jebusites have dwelt with the people of Benjamin in Jerusalem to this day. And the house of Joseph also went up against Bethel, and the Lord was with them. And the house of Joseph spied out Bethel. Now the name of the city was formerly Luz. And the spies saw a man coming out of the city, and they said to him, Show us the way into the city, and we will deal well with you. And he showed them the way into the city. And they put the city to the sword, but they let the man and all his family go free. And he went into the land of the Hittites and built a city, and called its name Luz, which is its name to this day. Manasseh did not drive out the inhabitants of Bethshean and its villages, or Taanach and its villages, or the inhabitants of Dor and its villages, or the inhabitants of Ibleam and its villages, or the inhabitants of Megiddo and its villages. The Canaanites persisted in dwelling in that land, and when Israel grew strong, they put the Canaanites to forced labor, but did not utterly drive them out. And Ephraim did not drive out the Canaanites who dwelt in Jezer. But the Canaanites dwelt in Jezer among them. Zebulun did not drive out the inhabitants of Kitron, or the inhabitants of Nahalol, but the Canaanites dwelt among them, and became subject to forced labor. Asher did not drive out the inhabitants of Akko, or the inhabitants of Sidon, or of Arlab, or of Achzib, or of Helba, or of Aphik, or of Rehob. But the Asherites dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land. For they did not drive them out. Naphtali did not drive out the inhabitants of Beth-Shemesh, or the inhabitants of Beth-Anath, but dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land. Nevertheless, the inhabitants of Beth-Shemesh and Beth-Anath became subject to forced labor for them. And the Amorites forced the Danites into the hill country, for they would not let them come down to the plain. But the Amorites continued to dwell in Harheres, in Ajalon, and in Shaalbim. Yet the hand of the house of Joseph rested upon them, and they became subject to forced labor. And the border of the Amorites was from the ascent of Akrabim, from Selah and upward. Judges chapter 2, verses 1 to 23. Now the angel of the Lord went up from Gilgal to Bochim. And he said, I brought you up from Egypt, and brought you into the land which I swore to give to your fathers. I said, I will never break my covenant with you, and you shall make no covenant with the inhabitants of this land. You shall break down their altars, but you have not obeyed my command. What is this you have done? Therefore I will not drive them out before you, but they shall become as thorns in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare to you. When the angel of the Lord spoke these words to all the people of Israel, the people lifted up their voices and wept. And they called the name of that place Bochim, and there they sacrificed to the Lord. When Joshua dismissed the people, each of the people went to take possession of his inheritance. And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua, and all the days of the elders who outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great work which the Lord had done for Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old. And they buried him in his own inheritance at Timnath-Heres, in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gaash. And all that generation also was gathered to their fathers. And there arose another generation after them, who did not know the Lord or the work which he had done for Israel. And the people of Israel did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and served the Baals. And they forsook the Lord, the God of their fathers, who had brought them out of the land of Egypt. They went after other gods, from among the gods of the peoples who were around them, and bowed down to them, and they provoked the Lord to anger. They forsook the Lord and served Baal and the Ashtaroth. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he gave them into the hand of plunderers who plundered them. And he sold them into the hand of their enemies round about, so that they could no longer withstand their enemies. Whenever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil, as the Lord had warned, and as the Lord had sworn to them, and they were in great distress. Then the Lord raised up judges, who saved them out of the hand of those who plundered them. Yet they did not listen to their judges, for they played the harlot after other gods, and bowed down to them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers had walked, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but not doing them. And whenever the Lord raised up judges for them, he was with the judge, and he delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For the Lord was moved to pity by their groaning, because of those who oppressed and afflicted them. But when the judge died, they turned back and behaved worse than their fathers, following other gods, serving them and bowing down to them. They did not drop any of their practices or their stubborn ways. So the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. And he said, because this people have transgressed my covenant which I commanded their fathers, and have not obeyed my voice, I will not go up among you again, until the people of Israel have cast out the Canaanites from before them. But I will not go up with you, lest I destroy you on the way, for you have become stiff-necked. So the Lord left those nations, without driving them out at once, and did not give them into the hand of Joshua.